Alrighty, so what you see right now is VS Code. Basically, it's I created a sample hello world, a simple thing that simply will go to the README file. If it doesn't find it, it'll obviously create one, and it will simply add hello world at the bottom of the file, and from there it will create an MR as well as a new branch tied to it.
Hmm.
There's no pipeline or anything like that. So this flow will definitely have to be injected as part of the on the UI itself. You have to go to the create new flow and all of that stuff. We can go over that fairly quick. So basically here, the environment, as we know, this is managed by GitLab, by us. And then the components itself here are the ones that I'm using. README reviewer is completely a different agent, as you see here. So there's two main things. One is to review the code, right? We can add more stuff in here without a problem. And the other one is to actually make the code change. That will actually open up the README file and essentially it will add the keywords that we want at the bottom of it. Um, we can definitely use this in some other way. We can make sure that we can create documentation from scratch. We can create some kind of guardrails to make sure that certain keywords are there and make sure that all the policies that are surrounding documentation are in place with this kind of flow. In here, you will see the prompts, but it'll actually, right now, it's assigned to three things, assignee, mentions, and the other one that for the life of me, I forgot, but definitely is assigned, and I'll show that in a minute, right in the UI. Uh, uh, as you see here, it is quite extensive, about 175 lines. I have a timeout at the bottom here for 180 seconds in case it has any problems with it. Um, the branch name that it does, scrolling down from the bottom to top, it'll be this, but we can definitely change this to whatever we want. We can also add the timestamp here in case there's some conflict with the workflow ID. I know a lot of people have different IDs. It'll actually append all of these result, project ID, workflow ID right in it. And it'll add hello world, which is what we want. It'll create the change as you see here. And as simple as that, this is just a test that will actually make a change in your project, in your README file, which can be any other file, by the way. And it will actually create the MR for you. All you have to do at the end is whenever you have time, is just to review the MR, approve it, and voila, you should be able to have your pipeline running. This project does not have a pipeline. It's a simple tic-tac-toe game that I like to put in Python just for
Hmm.
test.
Hmm.
Essentially here, the flow, all you have to do is just mention it, create an issue, for example, or make sure that you tag the actual robot, the actual service account that I assigned to this. All service accounts are automatically created when you add a flow. So
Yeah.
that's kind of neat. You don't have to do that on your own. As long as you have permissions, it'll actually do that for you. Uh,
So hey, Louise, let's walk through how we go from having a YAML. Let's assume we know that the YAML and what it can do. Like, how do we get that into GitLab and then running in a project?
That's a great question. So let's say that we have this YAML ready to go. I tested this actually a few times, but we have this YAML. All you got to do is copy paste it, copy right here, right, and then go to the root of your project over here that has the DAP enabled and everything,
The
and
top
then you
level group.
go the top level group, the TLG, yeah. So and then you go to flows right here, right, and from here, hold on a second. You have to enable it first. So you have to go settings,
Do you have to
and then you
create
have,
it in the catalog first, or can you
yes,
create it right here? Okay, so you create it in the catalog, but then you
yeah,
enable it in the top level group, right?
exactly. You have to create it in the catalog, and as soon as you do that, make sure, and this is something that a lot of people don't know. You have to assign the permissions itself. Make sure that you assign the permissions. You enabled everything here on your new project, on your new group. And once you do that, then you go ahead and create the flow on the project itself.
Okay, so, and just to confirm, enabling a flow in a top level group also requires owner permission, the same as enabling a custom agent in the top level group, right?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
So this isn't
So
something that an everyday developer can do every day. This is something that has to be kind of managed organizationally to enable these things.
exactly, and to assign the flows into the project, the user who's running it needs maintainer role, and then the developer role can use it all the time if they
Is
want
it
to.
is it
Yeah.
maintainer or owner? Do you know?
I tested with the maintainer.
Okay, great,
Unfortunately, I'm the owner here, but definitely based on our documentation currently, you have to be the maintainer role.
great.
Yeah. So from here, you should be able to just create the flow right here. As long as you have the permissions, you enable it on everything everywhere you need to enable it right here on the top level group. You assign a name, test name, and then obviously the description, test description, right? And then from here, you just simply copy your code. Um, I obviously will not do it again because I already did it. But as soon as your flow is enabled, you should be able to see it here. And there is one thing that sometimes gets people, and it's on the trigger itself. When you enable a role, when you create a role, this gets automatically created for you. As you see, the event type is mentioned. This is what I was going to say earlier, assign and assign a reviewer, in case you want to do it on the MR. This is automatically generated for you, and all you have to do now in order to trigger it, as you see here,
So
there's
is
no
that a
set.
service account?
Yes. So the
Yeah.
service account, it's automatically created for you based on the name of the flow. So if we go to
Yeah.
manage
And
members,
if you were to click the edit icon next to that, you could change what events would trigger it.
so if we go here, let's just do it live right here, and then right here, you should test disabled. So you can't do as you can't really unless you change the if you go to the catalog itself, that there you can change it. But
Oh,
here on
just
this
a moment ago, you were on a screen that had a pencil icon next to the trigger. If you go to
uh
triggers,
trigger, and then right
there, the
here,
pencil icon. What I'm asking is here, can I change event types? Yeah. So I can
yes,
change that.
so you can just change this. But by default, all of them are enabled, but you can change it like this.
Right. And that's where we're expecting to see more event types soon in the platform.
Exactly. So if you see as you see assigned here, let's just leave it assigned, right? And we change this to the wait. If you go back here, you will notice one thing that's important. You see that basic reviewer? That's the account that gets automatically added based on the name of your flow. So that's the name pretty much what I gave it. So if
Great.
you go to work items, I added a work item here, and I assigned this work item to the basic document reviewer. As soon as you do that, it'll go ahead and be triggered based on that.
Okay. And so um, your when you assigned that, it was the moment that you assigned it that kicked off the flow. If you want to
Precisely.
run the flow again, you would have to do a mention, right?
Precisely. If
Like
if
like the
that
flow isn't like monitoring the issue now that it's assigned to it. It's just that the assignment is the triggering event. Is that right?
exactly. Think
Yeah.
about it. Think
Okay.
about it like a lambda. It's based
Yeah.
purely on events. An event, it's that something happens once, and once it
Right.
happens, there's no monitor for it.
So
So,
so if you
mm,
mention your service account here in that comment, will that kick off another flow?
does that base? Hold on. I think I removed it just now. So let me go back. Trigger. See, it's only assigned. So if
All
I
right.
say mentioned now, let's just add all of them, right? And then save. See, now it has all of them.
Yeah.
Uh, and then we make sure that there's one session that passed that was 2 hours ago by me. And if we go back here, sign this, and then we add basic. See, that's the one I added. Make sure that it says that basic document
Yeah.
reviewer. Reviewer. It's a good idea to have good identifiable names on your flow so that it's easy to then click that. Boom, automatically. This is a notification of your progress. So if you click here,
Okay, and yeah, let's go through
just
and click
go back.
details. Hang on. Wait. Go back to the flow. Where you just clicked off. I wanted to
It,
go to details and see the job log.
yeah, I wanted to do that too, but it opened up GitLab by mistake. One second. Right here. Click here.
And then click
And
the details tab,
here we
and
go.
then click the job ID. Lower down the job, not the session ID, the job ID. That's where you get the actual job that's running your
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah.
Because I think that from our perspective as engineers, like, it's important to know how you navigate to see the actual job log that's actually running that flow. And this looks like a CI job because it's actually running on runner as basically the same thing as a CI job.
Exactly. If notice the namespace, do a workflow.
Yeah.
So
Now,
it's definitely there.
one thought I had, Luis, is that given that the triggers that we have today are these like assignments and mentions, it almost seems like we could establish a practice of using GitLab issues to sort of like track workflow event. In fact, you could even have the last step of the workflow of the flow be if you were successful, close the issue,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure. Maybe there's a
Yep.
tool to close issues, but because then you could sort of have that be even if a company isn't using GitLab issues for their everyday stuff, you could still use GitLab issues to sort of like be the tracking mechanism for these flows and the way the place where you see the operational stuff hanging off. Oh, lots of tool calls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why,
Definitely.
do you know why there are so many tool calls in your flow?
I can definitely go back and check, but as of now, it's a matter of because there's this it's a bundle of all the things that I added into this job. So it's calling pretty much everything as a bundle, and that's what's happening here. But I can definitely review this
Yeah.
and show
Okay.
you the
While
flows.
that's running, can you share the session in Claude with in the custom project that Tyler created that helps us work with the YAML? If not, I can.
I have it somewhere on the URL. Hold on. Oh man, the screen is blocking me.
Here, why don't you let me share, and
Okay, let me
I'll
stop.
show that because I think that'd be interesting to anyone who's watching this. This is kind of fun. I feel like we're doing a podcast. Uh, okay. All right. Um, so what we have here is let me actually go to projects, team projects, flows, flow creation. This is the one that Tyler made. And what he's done here is he's put in all the documentation. Well, he's put in a bunch of stuff, but most importantly, the flow registry documentation, which explains that YAML syntax, right? And so what I did was like I had one here. Let me just well, actually, let's just do one here. I want to actually let's do the thing that I want to do is which is I had a custom agent and I want to turn it into a flow. So in my custom agent to generate a README the based on the content of a repo. And so
Mhm.
I want to see if I can just okay, I'm going to say here generate YAML for a new flow with this prompt. It works now as a custom agent. Because custom agents, oh, okay.
Mm.
Let's see what it can do. Because that YAML can be pretty complicated, and it's like, wait a second, we're in an AI world. Why do we have to do engineering? Oh, it's doing that crazy thing where it's getting its markers confused. Sure is.
On my end, I'm pretty much done. I wanted to show the remake. I wanted to show also the keyword at the bottom, but
Okay, great. Let's what I want to do is just show how I was actually able to, in a previous session, actually have Claude generate the YAML. I never even studied the syntax at all. I just had it generate the YAML and then just copied and pasted directly from here into the flow. So like you can really use AI to generate AI. That was really the thing I kind of wanted to show here. Let's
that
go
that's
back to seeing your flow run.
that's exactly right. Yeah, we're entering into a world that yeah, you definitely can use automation to do automation. So it's a little there's a little finicky line in there because if you think about it, things can get a little difficult to troubleshoot if that happens a lot. So it's better to have,
Yeah,
it's a good idea to have a good um, reviewing process
exactly.
before
And what I
things go.
really want to do is have us create a custom agent in Duo Agent Platform itself to work with flows so that we don't have to go out to Claude to do that. That would be a terrific next step. But for now, we just have that project in Claude to work with. Okay, did you want to
Yeah.
share your screen and see what your flow did so we can see a success?
Sure. Let me see. Go back here. Automate. Hold on. Wait. Here's the whole screen. Here we go. So this is my screen right now. I'm in
Yep,
the web UI. Let me click on sessions. All right. So it's running still, but if we go back to the previous one here because it ran already, um, and we go to code, there is a merge request right now. Um, okay, so he just updated this one 10 seconds ago. So he added this merge request. The change that he did, he added again hello world because I ran it twice,
yep,
right? And the branch, which I really liked, was the fact that you can customize pretty much anything here because everything is API, right? So this is the branch name that he gave. Um,
yep,
and again, this is completely customizable. As you see here, it is a timestamp based on this. We can call it AI docs or whatever you want.
nice,
Uh, and essentially, if we go to README, you will see the hello world there as part of the, if we go back, let me just make it better. Merge request. Let's just add this
nice,
one and click on change. You see that it actually created that. This is the part where a lead developer or senior developer will have to review this, in a way that because it'll make a lot of merge requests depending on the situation. So there's got to be some kind of guardrails that prevents people from pushing a lot of code without being reviewed by some of the leads.
yep,
Um, so that's the only thing that I see so far, that people have to create some kind of mechanism to monitor the automation of the automation, if you think about it. Because if you go to Claude, and then create the actual flow, that's automation. And then that will actually create another automation
yep,
based on
yep,
which is this, right? And if you don't review this, at the end of the day, you will you could get into trouble real easy.
yep.
Um,
Okay, I
so
want to share one more thing before we stop the recording.
yeah,
If you want to drop, because the Hello World example really shows kind of the mechanics of the flow. But can you end your share? Or can I
oh,
steal?
sure.
Oh, I can steal.
Yeah,
Ah.
you can. No worries.
Um, is I do when I'm working with this, I do a lot of examples uh, where I just do something crazy and creative. So I created a prompt. I said, you are a creative storyteller. Your role is to write fascinating narratives, right? So like I just wrote, it's just like random stuff. And what's
Mhm.
interesting there is uh, you can actually the if you're doing a mention, I'm going to skip over the ones I've done. If you're doing a mention, you can actually read the thing. actually, we'll just look at this one. You can actually read the thing that's in the mention. So like I said, okay, write about a steampunk rock and roll guitarist, and it wrote the story. So this is actually using AI, right? It's actually instead of it just following explicit instructions, almost like a script, it's actually using AI to do AI type work where it can do analysis. It can do, the things we love for AI. This one was what was this? A story about a porcupine. So there are great ways to sort of explore and test this stuff that can also be just sort of creative and fun. And this way, you know that an AI model is involved because it's actually doing something creative.